Hello everyone, Andrew here doing my monthly review of some big pots that I've played. This time we're going to be looking at the biggest pots that I've won in the months of March and April. So I've got the pots focused, I've got my Hold'em manager rather, set with this date range, and it is, or I've ranked the hands on here by order of number of big blinds that I won in the hand. So we won't necessarily be looking at the largest dollar amount pots. In fact, you see the first two pots that I won were both from 2-4 games. But hands where I won the largest number of big blinds, I think those tend to produce the most interesting hands. And I am going to go through all of the hands on the top here, but ones that are pretty trivial, we won't spend much time on. I'll just kind of show you the action because I think some people might be interested in it, even if not for educational reasons, just for informational purposes. So this is from a one of these new 100 to 250 big blind games on PokerStars. It was, I think, maybe the second night that they had them, but it was the first night that I actually played. So it was the first time I had noticed that they had added these games, and I played a couple at slightly smaller stakes than I usually play just to kind of get a feel for it, and that's the games that we're running, to be honest. So this guy here. Zilio Stacco raises in the cutoff, and I believe I'm only about 80% on this, but I believe this is a guy who posts as Babo Fitos on 2 and 2, and he's an instructor for a different training site. I kind of doubt he has much idea who I am, but I respect him a lot. I think his posts are some really good ones on 2 and 2, and I haven't actually gotten his book, but I've heard good things about it. I think he in general is a pretty smart guy who thinks about poker in a lot of the same ways that I do, only perhaps slightly better. So I was glad to have position on him in this hand. Three bet my button with 9-7 suited. This is the kind of thing that you can get away with both of us being 250 big blinds effective. I think you can really get away with hammering people when you have position. Even a guy who I think is frankly a better poker player than I am, I'm willing to three bet him with 9 high on the button, and I think that's going to be profitable. Part of the reason for that, I mean, for one thing, it's just a lot harder for him to play out of position. Um, he can only call so many hands because my range is going to be wider than his probably. It's going to be stronger than his, and just with my having position and a ton of money behind, it's just difficult for him to play hands. And the stacks are also deep enough here that even with 9-7 suited, you see when he four bets, I think that I can profitably call this. We'll see the pot at this point is like 120, a little over $120, and I have to call less than 60. So I'm getting better than 2 to 1 on a call. I know that Zilio is a good enough player to have a balanced range for doing this, so it's not like he always has an overpair. He's going to have strong hands, but I think a lot of them are going to be like ace-x hands, and I've got something which can flop a lot of options, can make some strong hands, which is really important when you're deep. That's an important thing about hand selection. I've talked about this in some of my prior videos, but the deeper you are, the more you want to be playing hands that can make you want to be pre-flop selecting cards that will post-flop make hands that are worth your entire stack. So 7-9 offsuit would not be like there's a huge difference here between 7-9 suited and 7-9 offsuit. And if you just look at pre-flop equities, the being suited only adds about 3% to your chance of winning. But in terms of the playability of your hand post-flop, the fact that I'm going to make flushes way more often with 9-7 suited, and they're going to be better flushes because they use both cards in my hand than I can with 9-7 offsuit, is a pretty strong argument for playing 9-7 suited but not 9-7 offsuit. And